Hi everybody. Today we're making an interview for the teacher Dan. Hi Dan.
Hi, Guillem.
How are you?
Great, and you?
Fine. Okay, well we will start with the first question. What do you think about minorities?
I think minorities are groups that have been historically unseen, that have been historically violented through many major groups that have a higher role or condition of power.
But with which conditions? Like it's something cultural or physical? Those conditions to create those minorities?
Basically, I believe it has to do with politics because when you see a structure of power and you have a different size within power, you have to measure it with it economically, socially, and with rights or the effectiveness of justice of smaller groups like minorities, and those minorities don't have those rights.
Okay, perfect. Next question. What do you think about the minorities in the United States, specifically with the racism that it happens all with the Afro-American descendant culture?
I think we can see racism in USA because we have a tradition in which we established the exercise of power from humans that are white, and we believe, or in the USA tend to believe, that Afro Americans are less human than those who are white or those who had certain conditions. And we have seen many people that have been killed because of those acts of racism.
Okay, perfect. I think that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Guille. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, good morning. Today we're going to interview my friend Enrico about the minorities. Hi Enrico, how are you?
Hello.
So Enrico, what do you think that is a minority?
Well, a minority is a group that belongs in the minority of statistics, like in a country, right? So let's say black people, natives, Asians, groups like that.
Okay. What do you think about the situation with African descendants in the United States?
Well, I think there are various groups that support their rights, and it's a situation that has happened since a long time ago. So it's an issue.
Okay, thank you so much, Enrico.
No, thank you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this BBC News. Today we have a great person and our fellow partner, Martin Luther King. Hi, Martin. Martin, first question: did you have any education that prepared you to be a leader?
No, I really didn't. I had no idea that I would be catapulted into a position of leadership in the civil rights struggle in the United States. I went through the discipline of early elementary school education and then high school and college and theological training, but never did I realize that I would be in a situation where I would be a leader in what is now known as the civil rights struggle of the United States.
Okay, second question. Is your father interested in the same topics you are?
Well, he's quite interested, actually. He has had an actual interest in civil rights across the years. He is a pastor of a large church in Atlanta, Georgia. Incidentally, I'm co-pastor of the church. And he has had a strong interest in civil rights. He has been president of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People in Atlanta. And he always stood out in social reform.
Perfect. Third question. Do you think he imagined what you are today?
Well, I think he certainly realized the need for this, and after I decided to enter the ministry, he constantly stressed the need for leadership, and I'm sure that he hoped that I would stand out in this area. Whether he realized that I would do it or not is something else, but he certainly hoped for this.
Thank you. Fourth question, Martin. What sort of home did you were raised in?
Well, I guess it was relatively strict coming up in a minister's home. I faced the discipline that you would face in the very fervent religious background. However, I don't think it was over strict to the point that I developed any personality conflicts as a result of my early childhood, but it was strict enough, and I think it was strict enough for me to develop certain disciplinary principles as I came up.
Perfect. And finally, but not less important, were you a prick starter at your lessons when you were in the school?
Yes, I would say generally I was. Interestingly enough, I didn't start out with an interest to enter the ministry. At first, after finishing high school, I was interested in going into law and also medicine at one point. And all along, I received fairly good grades. But finally, I decided to enter the ministry and then went on to theological school.
Perfect, Martin. Thank you for your time.
Hi, Elena. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm fine. Today we're going to ask you some questions. The first one is, do you know what is a minority?
Yes, I do know what is a minority. And, well, for me, it's a certain group of people who are from a country or live in or have certain conditions that make them different to the rest of the population, and this certain characteristic is sometimes what makes them being chased by other people.
Okay, and what do you think about Afro-descendants living in the United States?
For me, it's totally normal. I mean, Afro-descendants are humans. They have the same rights that Americans or in the country that the same rights. And I don't think there should be a problem because they're like any other migrant that goes there and looks for better life opportunities.
Thank you, Elena.